Today I'm here to teach you how to make chocolate bread, as it's referred to in my house, and not just any chocolate bread, but sourdough chocolate bread, which makes me feel a little bit less guilty feeding it to my kids for breakfast. For this recipe, you'll want to start out with about 80 to 100 grams of bubbly and active sourdough starter. Next, pour 425 grams of purified water to the bowl and mix until you get that milky concoction. And don't worry if you miss anything, the written recipe will be in the description. Add 500 grams of flour and 10 grams of salt to that same bowl. Then grab your cocoa powder. I prefer to use specialty dark cocoa powder. It adds a layer of richness to the overall taste of the bread. Dump that in there as well as your sugar. All you have to do next is mix everything together. Now don't worry too much about making sure all the flour is consistently mixed together. The stretch and fold process will take care of most of that. Once your dough has achieved a shaggy consistency, allow it to rest for 30 minutes. It's time for our first stretch and fold after a 30-minute rest. You're just lifting up the side and bringing it to the other side. Now you'll want to do 4 series of stretch and folds, ideally over the course of 2 hours. Today, I only had time for 3 sets of stretch and folds, so if you don't have time for all 4, that's okay. I would say aim for at least 2 series of stretch and folds. The more you do, the stronger the dough is going to get. I like to do this little dough turny thing in the bowl to build more strength in the dough. And as you can see towards the end, I get a little bit more light-handed because at this point the dough has started to rise and we don't want to degas any of that hard work. After you're done with the stretch and fold process, cover the bowl with a lid and allow it to rise until it's at least doubled in size. Now this could take as little as 4 hours if your house is really warm, your starter is very vigorous, or it could take up to 12 hours if it's super cold and your starter is also not super vigorous. By this point, you would pre-shape your dough, allow it to rest for 30 minutes, and then move on to the final shaping. However, I was a little bit worried that I had overproofed my dough, so I just got straight to it. Grab yourself some quality chocolate. I'm using Ghirardelli today. I use about a half a bag of chocolate chips. Sprinkle it all over the dough. Once you've kissed your dough with enough chocolate, start the final shaping process. Now I'm doing the envelope method, pulling the long side down, then one of the short sides, followed by the other side over it. Pull the final open side over the dough completely, and then do a little crisscross to the best of your ability to really build strength and tighten that dough. After you are done with the whole crisscross maneuver, you could just put the dough in a proofing basket. However, I prefer to do a little taco burrito roll to add extra strength. That's completely optional, but I do find that it does work for me. Be very gentle at this point because the chocolate chips are wanting to bust out. I do a little bit of tension on the actual countertop, and then my dough is ready for the proofing basket. Make sure your dough is fully proofed when you press on it. It should bounce back slightly, but not too quickly. My dough typically is a little bit over the lining of the proofing basket. That's how I'll know when it is done proofing. I prefer to put it in the refrigerator overnight to really develop those flavors and also make it easier to score and work with the next day. It is the next day, my dough is nice and cold, and I'm turning it out onto some parchment paper. I love this parchment paper. I will include a link below if you're interested. It's like an organic parchment paper. I then dust it with some flour, which is optional, and do a nice deep score all the way down the line. At this point, you can get creative with a secondary score or not. Make sure you have preheated a Dutch oven in your oven at 475 degrees for an hour. Place your dough in the Dutch oven with the lid on at 475 degrees for 20 minutes. Then remove the lid and bake for another 20 minutes at 435 degrees. Our lovely chocolate bread we've worked so hard on. It's been, 2 days now? It's finally done. I allow it to cool down for around 4 to 6 hours before cutting into it to prevent it from getting all gummy, although it is really hard to resist the temptation to cut into it right away. As you can see, it's just loaded with notes of chocolate all the way through. This bread is dangerously good. One loaf goes so quickly in my house. I like to toast a slice of this bread for a few minutes, then lather it with some really good quality grass-fed butter. Chef's kiss. It doesn't need anything else. If you try this recipe, definitely drop a comment in the comment section below and let me know how you like it. Thanks so much for watching. Subscribe if you want to see more. Bye.